Hey, everybody. Woo! Okay. How about we actually start paying attention and talking about this show, this game, this you. Welcome in, community. My name's Deuce. I am here to help bring you into 2023. It's a new year, and new things are coming. We're a mess equals Scopely. Yes. Oh man, me, DJ. What was it? Me, DJ. Who all was there? Ripper was part of it. A couple of the mods. We kind of had like a Scopely rant session together. It was fun. I'm in Super HD. Is that bad? Like, are you saying there's too much rev? Is there even possible to be too much rev? I think you need more rev. I think you need more rev. Also, I need to recall is what I need to do. Was a rant about no bonus refinery. So, I guess I could have put in. I do have a can't tell y'all when it is. Let's just say bonus refinery very, very soon. I did make an announcement in my Discord. If y'all not joined my Discord already, which I realize that not everybody does Discord, I get that, but I do try to post updates in there. I said this on the 31st that we would probably get the announcement within 10 days on the bonus refinery. That's still accurate to my knowledge. So bonus refinery should still be coming out very soon. I can't give you the exact date because, well, for whatever reason, I can't give dates. But I can say very, very soon. So you're going to have essentially an early January bonus refinery instead of it being late December. So, yeah, there you go. But y'all will notice when it starts popping up, you'll see the little 3 days on here, and we'll go from there. So I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. And one of the things we're going to focus on a little bit here beginning of the year is we're going to go over some math. Game math of various things and various officers and such here for the next week or so before the ARC drops very soon. So obviously the ARC didn't drop yesterday on a Tuesday, but if it always drops on Tuesdays, pretty good idea that it's probably coming when, chat? Can chat take a good guess of when it will launch? Anybody got an idea? Anybody got an idea? Okay. Hopefully you'll have an idea. By the way, Kid Crazy, glad you enjoyed the video as well. So, Friday, Tuesday the 10th, Saturday, next. Okay. So, yeah, keep in mind, no, it's still Tuesday for Europeans as well. Yeah, I mean, next week, expect maybe to see a new arc centered around something. I don't know. Hey, Valdor, get out of that tritanium node. That's not yours, buddy. Weird green color. Get out of that tritanium node. You hope there's a Voyager arc? I can go ahead and tell you that there will be a Voyager arc in this game. When it is, I'm not telling you, but I can go ahead and tell you that there will be a Voyager arc. Hey, Falcon, good to see you. But lots of green. Green's a pretty color. Look at the pretty green there. Isn't that a pretty green? Love it. Love it. Garage McKay says, hopefully Scopely are taking this time to actually QA and test all the new stuff that is coming this month, quarter, year. Okay, so I have some knowledge. This month should not have as many issues as last month. We'll see. You never know how it's going to be. Wolfwood says green, that's a hint. Colors are hints now? Colors are hints. Colors are hints. Oh my goodness. The roadmap had plenty of hints, including colors. I'm sure many people pay attention to the roadmap, but hey, Tony, good to see you. How you doing? Best time to level up before or after the arc starts. So I can, for those who are curious, confirm that there are leaderboards for, officers this month. I guess that's technically a hint. Oh, well. So if you try to, here's the catch you get. If you're debating on whether I should level up before the arc or after the arc, it comes down to how are you spending your resources. So if you've already started building, for example, your ops level, you probably want to go ahead and finish that ops level before this upcoming week starts. Probably want to go ahead and hit that finish button because remember your battle pass adjusts depending on what level you're going to. But like if you're level 43, you might want to go ahead and be 44 for the better reward system through the battle pass. Now, if you are debating, hey, do I need to level up now or later in terms of spending materials? Let's say you're actually debating turning Ops 46 on right now, which Rev can finally do. Might want to wait for the leaderboards to roll around this month so that you can spend it on officers. I will go ahead and tell you, this month's officers, I'm actually pretty excited for. I'm not going to go too much. And yes, Bandit, this is a live video. I am looking at you, talking to you from the future. But yes, there are leaderboards, and I actually am interested in the officers this month. There's a lot about that I think is a positive for everybody, but we'll see what y'all think. We'll see what y'all think. Survey Strike Team, I cannot tell you that Survey Strike Team is coming out. I don't know anything about a Survey Strike Team. But what I can tell you is I actually do really like these officers, and I love the plan for these officers, but we'll get into that more when we get into the new year. So we'll see if y'all can figure out hints that we drop. Myself is going to drop hints. DJ's going to drop hints. We always, at least I always start dropping hints about a week before the arc drops, if that's a hint at anything at all. We'll go from there. But to answer the question I've kind of gotten long-winded on, it comes down to where are you at in the game? And if you've already got the ops going, I would go ahead and speed up that op and have that ops done before the start. Probably finish it maybe Saturday or so. If you're going to spend like materials, efficiency-wise, I would really suggest that you hold on to that until you actually can turn it in and get some value for it, or at least more bang for your buck. Good afternoon, Sean. Good to see you. You must be mining officers. Why does everybody keep insulting me and calling me a miner? Okay, I don't like mining. Okay, why would I be excited about mining officers? Glad you got your ops upgrade done this past weekend. Well, there you go. So, and it was a nice crit. I purposely push for criticals on rainbow missions. That's one of the things I go for. So what I'm trying to say here is get everybody excited. I will tell you, because people asked me my excitement level for December, and I told you that I was kind of met on it. Y'all saw how assaults ran. If y'all want to know my excitement for January, it is much higher for the actual content. Now, obviously, the events have to work. The events have to roll out nice. The payouts have got to be decent. But in terms of what's coming out this month, I really like it. I really do. Truthfully, I think that this month has got a lot of stuff here. I'm not going to spill all the beans here in just one stream, obviously, but I do think there's things that many of you have been asking for. There's some exciting stuff. There's some fun stuff. So we'll see how it rolls out. Surge says, thank you for doing these videos. Any tips for an anti-pylum crew for my Coronars? Try the Explorer Strike Team, TOS Kirk, Wayun, Pond, etc. Even through my Max King on there, nothing works. So what about your Valdor? So Surge, if you're going against the Interceptor Strike Team, we do have to make that video. So apologies for not having that out already. But you want to do anti-critical builds. The biggest killer when it comes to fighting that particular build, and to be honest, I would resort to old tactics of running like Yuki and maybe even Ongar Wharf. But let's real quick bring up these officers. So you got Goldacott, you got Damar, and then Garrick. So this one, you really can't do anything about negating it. He's just turning on hull breach and then increasing shots. You can't really stop that. And you got Damar, which is lowering your crit damage. So this is something to watch. One of the things that a lot of people slip up on fighting this crew is they will bring critical build because it's a standard PvP crew. This is awful if you have Honor Guard Wharf, because what happens is this stacks and it can even make it to where you're creating zero damage. Then you have Outcast Spy, which is good, increase critical hit chance. So the way to combat this is to run like an anti-critical build and then really focus on your survivability and creating damage, but not relying on criticals. So if they are running a full synergy where it includes Damar, you don't run Honor Guard Wharf. What you can do is, for example, TOS Uhura and TOS Kirk, that combination. If you've got any of the anti-critical officers, something to look at there so that you can try to take advantage of the build and counter it. And that's how you can weaken them and take them down a little bit. Let's see. Surge, get out of here. You got to do mining for me. Wow. Bobby says, during the incursions, can people from server 89 come live in 88 if they crew transfer on over? They can during incursions. Now, obviously, incursions is not running right now. But yes, that's exactly how it works in incursions. Is if your servers are paired together during incursions, then in that 1 day time frame, that 24-hour period, you can live on the other server. You'll rebase your base over there and do everything that you would do normally. What about running Crass as captain? No hull breach equal no bonus at all. So Thomas, the only thing I would say there is if you're running full synergy, Pretty good chance that hull breach is happening. Have you been able to counter it? Have you been able to counter it? They come up with a schedule until the new arc. Are you talking about for the next week? I don't know of them releasing one. I mean, I guess they could have, or I guess they can rather. I don't know of them doing that. Like, I don't have any anything to pass on. What I can do is ping one of the janitors real quick, and I can ask while I'm on stream. Y'all be putting out a calendar remainder the week. All right, I just pinged one of the janitors, and if I get a response, I will let y'all know. I pinged one of the janitors for you. I'm on 89. Not too many have the full crew over here. We talking about the full crew, Thomas. Now, the reason your events feel kind of blah, JT, is because obviously we were meant to be doing incursions here in the middle of the week. So it kind of just became a throw-in. Literally what you have right now in your ticketed is a throw-in set of events. They just threw in the Ikatika run from this past month because, well, you had nothing to really do. So that's not a bad thing. I mean, a free ticket event, cool. Run your ticket event, pick what you want, or just save up 10 tickets for when we roll into another month. And whatever you want to do, I think is fine. I'm glad they filled it in with something, and they filled it in with, honestly, a very good payout event. This is a very, very good payout event. So you can save your tickets and run them during an arc, or you can go ahead and take the loot. For me, you see I turned 2 of them on because I desperately need the dilithium, and I really need the ore and the gas, as you can see, to go to Ops 46. Now that I got this, I can upgrade Ops 46 and really start working on unlocking that pylum that I want so bad. Need the uncommon ore? Yes, I need lots of uncommon ore. I finally have got everything ready to go to 46. I've got all the things I needed. All the generators have to be 45. All my warehouses and my vaults, all of this has to be 45 before you can go to 46. Thankfully, I didn't have to do my guns, but my guns would eat up a lot of gas. I got to do defense technology, that up, so much of it. Click the like button. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Last night, I got back-to-back crits on the Lead Expedition away team missions, 11K credits. That's awesome, Dale. For me, I pull away teams every day. It's one of the most important features in this game. I think away teams is something that, because it's passive, every player in the game should focus on away teams literally as soon as you can, which is like level 8. Start focusing on away teams, really investing a lot of time there. And then I come in every single day, scroll over here. If I can afford it, I double pull pylum. If I can't afford it, I get a single pylum every day. I'm almost at 100 pylum blueprints, and I don't have the rep. So this is all from other sources, saving me so much time. I'm doing it on the way. See, there's my pylum. Where are we at? 95. Dang, I have more than I thought. 95 out of 350. And yes, that's still a long way away, but if you think about it, that's no faction credits spent. I didn't spend any faction credits for that. That is just everything else. That's 27% of the way there before I'm even Ops 46. This is the power of away teams and why myself and other content creators push it so much and why it's so important to your gameplay. Pylum is a huge amount of fun. I can't wait to have it, Matt. Genius says the funny thing is the ticket events give out more crystal than other mats. Enjoy your crystal, especially all you pylum freaks. Enjoy your crystal. Here, I'm going to unclick that. I actually just need to go ahead and recall it. Oh, you're already recalling. And I'm probably not going to do the mine crystal because I'll just get blown up and I won't get to collect it. Bobby says, I've sent out over 1,000 cadet invites to every single level 2 and up players. Why is no one joining our server? Bobby, I honestly have no idea what you're even talking about. What do you mean you sent out cadet invites? Are you talking about just inviting new players to the game? What do you mean? The newest server in the game right now, I think, is server 93 for the US servers. Server 93. Oh man, I didn't get the rainbow I wanted. I got the crappy rainbow. Crappy rainbow spawn. Away teams are very good. I'm currently level 39, but I have 411,000 away team credits saved up for when I go into the 40s. Wow, you overachiever, you. That's impressive. That's impressive. Because we've had no incursion for 2 months. Will they reward us with subspace relay parts? What you will be rewarded with is the... What do you even call it? Your bi-week chest? which is not very lucrative. I'll put it that way. Not very lucrative. My apologies have been mentioned. Any word on Res bonus monthly refinery? So Rome, I was told that it will be within the next week. Well, within a week, we should have it proper up. So just keep an eye out. John Paul Bouillon, thank you so much for signing up to support the channel, and you've been doing it for 1 year. Thank you for that. If anybody wants to support the channel, this is how I support my family. It's how I pay the mortgage. So any donate, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App helps out tremendously. Thank you if you consider it. Once again, Jean Paul, thank you for supporting me and my family. When you see Kelvin blueprints in the away team store, so you have to have a 60% of the rep, 60% of the rep. No, I'm sorry, 80% of the rep for the Kelvin. And then you need to be the level below. So it's level 41 and 80% rep. Level 41, 80% rep. Now, starting at the pylon, it switches to 60% rep requirement. For those curious about what I'm talking about, I'll show you. So here's your rep. Now, for the pylon or any of the rare 46s, you need to be glorified to see them or to start getting them with faction credits. Now, if you want to get them in away teams, that means that you need to be 60% to glorified. Glorified is 440 million, which just quick math, because was that 280? Hold on. Multiply by 0.6, 264. You need to be at 264 million and then level 44 before you start seeing the pylon BPs in your away team store. If it's after a pylon after, it's 60%. If it's before the pylons, like the Enterprise, it's 80%. So all the ships leading up to the pylon are 80% rep requirement before you have the rep, and then the pylon after is 60%. That's what we found so far looking at it over the past week, because there was a lot of questions, how that worked. And you'll see some people say 60, some people say 80% for the lower tier ships or the 30s and etc. And then 60% for the hires. And keep in mind that there's a much wider bracket of rep that you have to grind through. Much wider bracket. Very, very wide bracket of rep. I mean, to get to 10 mil lock feels crazy, but then remember there's a 1 billion lock after that. So processes. Let's process. Happy New Year to you as well, Jimmy. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Mark says, before the New Year's, I managed to upgrade my ops to level 32. Then I had to upgrade my academy, R&D, even the shipyard and hangar to level 32. Mark, don't worry. We are very familiar with that process. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. You're going to reach various levels where it's basically blocked off until you do like all your docks or you'll do all your vaults. And that's how it is to get to level 46. You've got to get your refinery to 45. You got to get all your vaults, all your warehouses, and all your AB generators up to 45 before you can go to 46. So, and then I think to get to 42, if I remember right, you got to upgrade all your docks and all of your guns. So we noticed that the threshold for rare G4 BPs appeared in the away team store was 275 on the dot. It must be ops 44. Shouldn't be 275 on the dot. It should be 60%. But yeah, right around there. All right. Stuck on 38, getting your docks. Yep. 39 is another big one. And 39 tricks up so many people. I'm not sure how many below 39s we have in the chat right now. I think there's like 400 people here. So shout out to y'all. For any below 39s listening, you will need to build that other dock, that new dock you get at 39. And you do need 2-star materials, everybody. So if you are not there yet, prepare yourself. You need 2-star materials to build the dock at level 39. If you do not have 2-star, go get it. You're going to need to do that. So just a little heads up for those who are like, well, 2 stars in the past. Who worries about 2-star? You will. You will 100% be like, well, dang it. Why did nobody tell me? Why did nobody tell me that I had to have 2-star? And that is Dry Dock E. Dry Dock E, you will need 3,000 2-star uncommon crystal to build it at level 1. Now, after that, you don't need any more 2-star. But to build it at level 1, you will need 3,000 2-star uncommon crystal. Just FYI, go get it. Prepare. So at level 39, you're not sitting there going, well, I can't build my new dock. Now Rev's told you. Now you know. Now you know. Good afternoon, Edward. Hope you're having a great day. Sabroteur says, speaking of rep grinding, I recently switched to dual grinding. What's the best system for Klingon rep? Just been hitting capital traders. So capital traders are the expensive way, but the drops on them are really good, especially for a lower level player. It's how you would farm, getting a Katinga or getting the Bakchor miner. It's a good way to farm for those blueprints. In terms of where the answer for efficiency when it comes to mining a rep or grinding rep always comes down to one thing. Traders pay out the most rep, and what system can you hit the most traders? Before anybody asks in the chat, no, there is no Tygo Core equivalent. There is no Tygo Core equivalent in ROM space or Fed space. Tygo Core is a very unique entity. So if you're wanting to go Klingon ROM, for example, you're just simply going to hunt a ton of federations. Just a ton. There is no secret sauce. There's no secret sauce. I'm a new player. The event's normally this bad. So Eric, question, when you say this bad, what do you mean? Are you saying because there's not really much going on? We are between arcs. That is why you have like a very light event schedule. A new arc will drop next week, meaning specialized events, new story missions, etc. Between those arcs, we kind of have filler events, which is really kind of like a cooldown period to let people kind of relax and not be as hardcore as they will be for about 3 weeks. Oh man, good to see you as well, Won't Matter. We getting some hints for next week? Saying I've already dropped. In the first 20 minutes of this, I dropped, I know of intentionally 3 hints. Y'all have to go figure out what they are. But I dropped 3 hints almost immediately into this video. Any chance they'll be upping the 2,000 hostile limit? No, I don't know of any chance of them doing that. Maybe, but I don't know of any chance of them doing that. Is Scopely going to give us the 2023 avatar? I have not talked to them about an avatar. I honest to God have not. Have not brought up an avatar. And I haven't even seen the new avatar, which I've heard is amazing. You're part of us now? Yes. He is not one of us. Shout out to Lion King. Every time Rev twitches, I think he's sending secret hints about the next arc. Yeah, everything I do is a hint. This is a hint. Oh, look, right here. We're in Swarm Space. Somebody play the Beastie Boys. It's a hint. Everything's a hint. All things are hints. Braldo says, will the field training issue be fixed soon? No idea. And I'll be honest, I still to this day don't understand why people are so obsessed with field training. It is meant for new players right now. The field training will eventually get fixed at some point for those who are stuck on the research node. But it's literally meant for new players, y'all. It's meant for new people. It's meant for new people. Do you think it's wise just to expect going Fed and ROM to 1 billion just to keep doing Tile Core? It is if you want those ships, yeah, for sure. I realize that there's pike shards, but look, I can't make them work any faster, y'all. I mean, it's not like I'm telling them something they don't know. They know. Like, they know. They've heard. And I can't really do any size. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want Rev to do? I will, of course, continue to pass things up. And I will tell you what, I will ping them right now. Hey, some things. Let me just make a list for you. I had a meeting with them this morning. I will bug them again because I love y'all so much. Will we get an event calendar released for every day up till 2023 avatar? Oh, crap. Orion Corvette update. All right, there you go. I just sent them a message. Now we'll see. What are the ops level brackets for rewards for what, Wico? Because it's different for dailies. It's different for certain leaderboards. What event specifically are you curious about? Tell them to fix the exo glitch first, where it populates the same exo you activate in 2 slots. Look, all these things are important. If I passed up everything that the thousands and thousands of y'all had messaged me about, I would never get to make videos because I would just be passing along messages. So, some good ships like the Franklin. Okay, wait. I got to find actual questions. Any news on further releases of previous ARC missions for Holodeck? No. No news. No news. What we want you to do, we want you to go full Kakashi on their butts. Kakashi Sensei? We can. Okay, we can. Okay, so one of the janitors has replied. One of the janitors is looking into getting y'all a calendar for the rest of the week and everything. So that is getting looked into. Do bug reporting as a full-time job. Victor, if y'all pay me to do bug reporting, I will do it as a full-time job. If y'all want to do that, here's the link. There you go. When's the next Parabellum? Parabellum will run this month with the arc that launches next week. Parabellum will run this month. I think there's one Parabellum. I have to go back and look, but I think there's one Parabellum. Just got the Valdor and putting my mats into it rather than the ISS Jellyfish. Smart. What tier should I take the Valdor to realistically? I would say the Valdor can do everything you need it to do. Armadas, solos, grinding. Tier 5, tier 5.5, and you don't need to take it any higher. Now, you can take it higher. There's no problem with that. Bear in mind that the rares are probably the best bang for your buck ships in the entire 40s. Between faction credits to actually get them, repair cost, performance, long-term, grinding. Everybody loves the Pylum, the Coronar, and then the Newton. Those are just where the value's at. Now, my Valdor is a fresh tier 5. I've not put anything else into it. You'll see the cost. The reason I haven't dumped past tier 5 is, well, short answer, I need it for my buildings. I need this ore in other places. So I got it to tier 5, and when I run a full Armada crew and I've got all my below deck stacked, it's almost about 13 million. And that's plenty for what I need. I can grind with it in deep space. I can get my dailies done. I can actually do good rep grinding with it. And it costs me about 40 million tritanium to repair when it blows up. All right. Let me check this avatar thing real quick. Because was there even a 2023 avatar designed? Like, I knew we had this one, which I didn't get apparently. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There we go. Had to find it. Okay, so let me respond to the janitor real quick. But I can tell y'all that the bonus refiner should be an official announcement coming very soon to tell y'all the dates. An official announcement should be coming very soon to tell y'all the dates. And I just asked about, because some people care about avatars. See, this is me doing things for y'all. Rob, by the way, I appreciate it. I just asked about the avatar as well. Rob says, not trying to complain, but just curious why they didn't add defense platforms G&H, which many people purchased. Don't tell Scopely to add them. The reason they didn't is specifically because if they added the defense platforms, it would give spenders a very, very big advantage in base rating and everything and base defense, and it was just too powerful. So they purposely are not adding guns to purchased docks. So that is intentional. That's what they did with the original one, and they probably are not going to do it for any subsequent paid docks they release. The only docks that will have guns are the ones that come naturally through progression. Other docks that you buy, you can still put a ship in it, but they won't have a gun. And mathematically, when it comes to game math, that's a good thing. It would be ridiculously unfair for not only to have the dock, but to also have that other gun. So, hey, Colonel, how you doing? Adam says Dock H kind of gave an unfair advantage anyway, unintentionally. To a degree, yes, because you do have another ship there, which acts as a buffer. So you do have a paid buffer, but the real power in this are the guns. And if you had a whole nother set of guns launching, and if you had two other sets, you're really scaling the difficulty up to a very, very high level. So that is why not every dock has a gun. We need base skins. I agree with you. Sure. Strategy question. I need 9,245 uncommon crystal to the impulse engine on my something. I can take to tier 7. One of my goals at 35 was 3 epic ships to tier 7. So would it be wise to concentrate on it or tier up my auger to tier 7? It needs 3,800, have 1,200 crystal. So you talking about go D4 auger? Auger is more valuable long-term than the D4. I'll just simply answer it that way, long-winded. Auger is more valuable long-term than the D4, at least as of right now. What that looks like in a year from now, I have no idea. Go full Naruto on the janitor if the rewards continue to be too small. Well, that's the thing, Mark. Have the rewards been too small? Because they haven't. November was one of the highest payout months in terms of uncommons the game's ever seen. And then December was the highest event store loot ever. So I can't say that rewards have been small. I can't say they've been small. I guess it depends on what you're talking about. And I'm always glad to go after them if there is a true negative. But rewards haven't been like lessened. Rewards have been very, very good. The problems of the game have not generally been things like rewards. It's been like assaults running out and was obviously just poorly designed, poorly thought out, and then bugs and problems there. But the game's actually been like economy scaling has been speeding people up. I mean, it's way easier to get to the 40s now than before. I mean, take example, because Wicked brings it up, and I can show you on my level 14 account as well. The ticket events that you're running now are the same. They're literally copy and pasted from December. These are really good payouts. I mean, I'm taking home like 200 million raw dilithium, and I'm taking home, I think, like 500 uncommon gas. I mean, it's good payouts. They could add a paid defense gun. Well, see, that's the thing, Brigadier Jones. They don't want to make a paid defense gun. They don't want to make it that OP. They don't want to make it that OP. And yes, Ming, life in the 50s is pretty bad. It's just the scaling for everything in the 50s is ridiculous. Like the requirements for events and the cost to run, it's wild up there. Paid battle passes have been less than they used to be, but they haven't, Steven. Mathematically, they've not. They've not been less. There might be things that you personally don't value as much, but they have not lessened the battle pass. Never once in the existence of the battle pass has it ever had less rewards going into the next month. They've never done that. I've tracked it for 2 years. I've even got spreadsheets of it. It's never lowered. Now, there have been some times where like a battle pass glitched and they had to go back and fix it. That's happened. But in terms of the plan for the battle pass and what's there, it's never lessened up. Okay. Whew. Catch your breath. Steve says, with the push to get players to increase ops level and the increase in the number of players in the low 40s, is there any plan to remove the deep space fog of war on low-level deep space systems? Steve, not to my knowledge. I personally don't care about fog of war. I know some people who hate it. I know some people who love it. I don't have any knowledge of them doing that. You know, you asked a question and then you retracted it. I'm nearly champion with Fed and ROM. I was 46 cooking up. Would you recommend going champion? So for me, the big thing is by the time you're level 50, you want at least one faction, 1 billion faction locked. If you can get all 3 faction locked, that's the best. By level 50. Now, how you go about that process, some people want to single faction it. I like dual factioning it. Dual factioning does take more work, but also has way better rewards. That's kind of a personal thing for you. You know, what's going to work for you. Wiko says, sorry, what are the ops level brackets for BP rewards? Well, that literally varies based on where we're talking about. So like it'll change 42 to 43, but it doesn't change 31 to 32. So lower levels is typically, it goes by 2 levels, and 40 plus, it typically goes every level it changes. Generally speaking. Will strike team officers be more accessible to free-to-play anytime soon? Free-to-play can source those officers through in the Incursions store. That is their sourcing method, through the Incursions store. At almost Ops 38, should you upgrade Ops before the new arc for added BP rewards, or will it modify if you update during the arc? If you do not update before, okay, word it this way. Your battle pass sets your rewards to what you are when it launches. So if you level up in the middle of the month, your battle pass will not change. So if you want to go to 39 so that you can access like the Parabellum event, where you can build your ISS jelly, you know, stuff like that, then you want to do it before the arc starts. If you're wanting to get better rewards for things like your battle pass. So It's funny how people want there to be problems and that bias makes them think that they're getting less. I don't know if they want problems, but I will say that I do track the economy of the game. And while there are pain points, and those pain points are designed, like pain points are intentionally there to encourage you to spend if you don't want to deal with the pain point. That's fine. We can argue when pain points are too hard, too harsh, etc. But the economy of the game has continually progressed in a positive manner. 3-star, 2-star is 2-star. The 2-star economy takes you about a month to get through or less. The 3-star economy, you know, we've had multiple players do this. If you start the game right now, you can go from 1 to 34 in 6 months or less. You can maybe do it in 4 months, depending on how quickly you spend or how quickly you grind and move and not even having to like be a heavy spend. So the 4-star economy in turn has also improved tremendously over the past year. Is it amazing? No, but it is definitely improved. And the pain point area now is 50 plus, particularly the mid and high 50s. So can you grind out the Nova? If so, what level hostile must you kill? Ooh, can I grind the Nova? Good question. You know, I mean, you'd have to be hitting like the Belosian traders. We have a few 50 pluses here. I actually can't think of any place, but a few of our level 50 pluses, if anybody here can answer that question, I'd appreciate it. I don't think so, but I'm unsure. I'd actually need to check that after the stream, unless some of our 50 pluses in the chat can go ahead and answer. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't think you can. So Callum says, would like refineries, hold on, to take, that's complicated and I actually don't like that at all. So I'm not even going to read it. Is there any way to encourage other players to come into server 88 other than offering free Wi-Fi and endless amounts of Kung Pao chicken? No, all you can do is try to recruit people to join. How the game typically operates are newer servers get new players first. The newest servers now are like 93, 92. Every now and then they do open up older servers to new players, but I don't have like a rhyme or reason to tell y'all how that works. Hit 35 in 10 months, free to play, only bought a doc of build, queue, and then the builder, and then the researcher. Nice, Brad. That's a pretty slow pace for a new player, and that's probably an enjoyable pace. The addition of the extra builder and researcher sped up progression dramatically. It has if you spend 25 bucks. So, for sure. 25 bucks in this game is pretty good. ZNX says, Rev, is the Newton at least usable in PvE? PvP in that ship will be hard. So, because of the new meta, the Newton is arguably the best PvP ship in the 46s. I mean, the Pylum is still right there holding its crown, but the Newton is extremely good. And yes, the Newton is good in PvE. So the Newton is a good grinder. So yeah, Jason, I know there's missions for the Nova, but I couldn't think of a place where you could actually go like grind a Belosian trader and it would drop a Nova BP. But I wanted to make sure before I said that. Can you work your magic and get Scopa to add the Chin Talon pack? I've been asking for weeks, boss. I will literally ask again. I've been asking for weeks. There you go. I'll just send it to the janitor who responded to me most recently. What do you think about an item archive as a new feature so players can hide old currencies? Gregory, I'm just waiting for them to actually create something to turn those old currencies in so we can get rid of them. That's what I want more than anything, is to get rid of the old currencies, not like hide them. They actually just need to be converted or done something with. It's something that the team has talked about, so. Hold on. Okay, sell my old currencies for par steel, needing 15 trillion to get ready for my next jump. Ordrin, we still got to finish that document we're working on. Have only one Nova. The common G5 cost is insane. Latinum for tier 1. It is, but a tier 1 Nova is good. I mean, a tier 1 Nova, where you're talking about warp range or just the cargo size, that Nova is great, like out of the dock. I would love to have a tier 1 Nova. Like, even if it was just the tier 1 Nova. Tier 1 Nova warp range is like 250, 240, 250, something like that. So, I mean, yeah. Warp range for the Nova is fantastic. I mean, so there's Burning, it's not 270. Y'all are counting your researches. Y'all are counting your research. I think it's maybe 245. Y'all are counting your research. See? The ship itself is 245. I'm gonna have to go on STFC.space and look. Who doesn't do that research first thing? Adam, dude. I know multiple people level in the mid 40s who still have not done Angel in Disguise. Y'all don't understand how many people reach out to me asking, how do I find Angel in Disguise? How do you have this warp range? The highest level player that I have ever talked to who had not done Angel in Disguise was level 50. And they were, I don't want to use the word upset, but they were legitimately curious why all of their peers had better warp range with like their discovery and stuff. Some people just don't know. And some people just don't like missions. So. I will say that I used to strongly dislike missions in Star Trek Fleet Command. The past year, I do feel like missions, like storytelling and everything, are way better. And I actually enjoy missions in the game now. So, but there was a time where an Angel in Disguise is part of the original mission chain in the game. It's not very good. But the new missions that have come out, I thought have been great. I love the lower deck run. I honestly enjoyed reading the DS9 missions when I actually went and read the transcripts. Where can I find that mission? Sorry if you've already covered it. Mark, good thing for you that I actually made a video to not only tell you how to get it, but the actual rundown in the previous missions, because it is that important. So I will actually just pull up the video and shoot it to you, and I won't even be mad if you stop watching this live stream to go watch this video, because anybody in the 40s can tell you this is one of the most important things you need to do immediately. Like when you hit 42, this is more important than getting your uncommon ship. Before you get an uncommon ship, you need to go do these missions and do this research. And there's the link to it. It's that important. It's game changing, because you'll go, and the reason it's so game changing early on is because when you enter into the 40s, one of like the immediate walls you get into, not counting the amalgam and the Phoecios, most of your ships can't get very far. Well, you hit level 42, you do Angel in Disguise, you do 2 researches, plus 10 warp range for every ship. It really, really helps out. And then as you get deeper and deeper, it's really, really nice. So if you've got your stuff up and going, and you've got your ships appropriately tiered, enjoy yourself. Shout out to Rob. Appreciate you supporting the channel. If anybody wants to hit the links, do it because Rob dropped it. Appreciate it. How much 2-star crystal for Doc E? I have 20,000 uncommon crystal and 200,000 common. How about a way to hide officers you never use for anything? I would argue those officers you never use for anything probably need to at least be doing away teams. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that point. And again, can pass feedback along. We're at almost 200 officers in the game. So there does need to be an update to the actual system here of the officer screen and the UI to make it easier to navigate, because there's just so many now. You know, when I first started this game, 2018, I think we started off with 43 officers, 50 officers, something like that. And we've got triple that amount now. And I do appreciate the group sorting and things like that, but it's getting kind of wild. And to answer your first part of your question, for Dry Dock E, you need 3,000 2-star crystal, uncommon. 3,000 2-star crystal, uncommon for Dry Dock E. Dry Dock E. You don't need that when you do dry dock F at like level. What level is dry dock? 48. Dry dock F is 48, I think. You don't need it for dry dock F, but for whatever reason, you do need it for dry dock E. So you only need 2,000. Just make sure you got it. Sounds like you got plenty. As long as that UI update is an extension of presets, it's somewhat helpful for the niche uses, but still an utter pain. It definitely can be. Definitely can be. Oh man. Let's see what else we got. I love answering questions. Steven says, thanks to Rev in his video, I have my mission all the way up to that one that says get Ops 42 for Angel in the Sky so I can continue right when I get there. Awesome. So what is the max level? The max level currently in the game is 60. There are quite a few people there. Hell, I think my alliance has got 3 of them, 4 of them, something like that. Let me go take a look at my alliance. Let's see. Sort by power. So I think, yeah, we got 360s here. Hath has not pushed the button yet, but he's not too far away. So we got 360s in my alliance. So, and then I'm sitting way down here in the middle. My little level 45. Oh, lost myself. There I am. Look at me. Look at me. Oh, I'm stronger than a 47. Hell yeah. Proud of myself. I'm almost as strong as this 48. Damn. I'm actually a pretty strong 45 for my alliance. Holy crap. Actually makes me want to like load out full combat, all warships, and see where I rank. Has me curious now. Hey, Jock, how you doing? Transporter patterns. Will they add more officers to it? So, John, they have been averaging 1 to 2 transporter pattern updates over the past year, year and a half. So we will get another one at some point this year. When that is, I honestly don't know. But yes, you will get another open. Any open slots? There are 2 open slots, actually. If y'all want to join the most powerful alliance in the world, he's on server 20, 9.1 billion. There's 2 slots. You're a level 51 alliance. Ryan says, I want to thank you for letting me have an excuse to donate to you last month. As it's important to show my kids it's soul food and great to show them the value of you and others. Well, thank you, Ryan. And you know what? I just want to say a big thank you too, because if you donated to me last month, you actually donated to others. Last month, not just in some of the things that we announced, like for example, we bought Christmas presents for a family, and it wasn't like a big hoopla. We didn't make a big post about it. I shared it with some of our donators, and they jumped in and completely bought out 2 Amazon wish lists. So shout out to them. Y'all did amazing things. Y'all bought Christmas for multiple people, which is beautiful. And yeah, I just want to say a big thank y'all to all being an amazing community. And we didn't do like a big hoopla post or video about it. And y'all just did it out of the kindness of your hearts, and it was just amazing. So tip of the cap to all of you. Tip of the cap to all of y'all. This community is the best community in gaming, and nobody will convince me otherwise. Star Trek community is raised some pretty wholesome people. Why have they not added more holodeck missions for DS9 series or even more lower deck series? So the holodeck is how they source new missions now. The missions that are in there are previously existing missions. Like if you go in here and see Discovery, Bobby, those are the original Discovery missions. So the holodeck is simply providing players an opportunity to go back if they choose to play the original missions. Like these Borg missions, those are the original missions. Next Generation, that's when TNG came out. So now, honestly, I don't think I've actually done Warriors Lost because I wasn't in the 40s when that came out. So I might need to go do Warriors Lost. But I've done all these. So if you've already done the DS9 missions that just came out this past month, well, there's no DS9 missions for you to go do. Oh man, had to get my drink in. Lots of talking, but good talk, and happy to answer more questions. Just sent you a screenshot of my pylum as it stands now. Well, you weren't the most recent person to message me, so now, uh-oh. I responded to this since I looked at it. Where'd you send it to me, Facebook or Discord? Only part of the first mission arc, not the full arc. So if you start them, you might be stuck at a cliffhanger. This is true, Colin. This is true. So fair point, fair notes. Let me reset or recall this and then go pop this. Now, for those who are curious what those missions paid out, I did do a video. I know I'm plugging myself a lot here, but I did do a video called Pattern Buffers where I talked about the various missions. And shout out to Black Half Dan, who also made a video about this. But we discussed what those missions pay out and went over the spreadsheet and everything. And let me grab the link to that so y'all can have that if y'all want to go peruse and see if any of those rewards are worth it to you. Does the Holodeck show us the missions we've completed or only stuff we haven't done? It just shows you the missions available. There you go. And there's the Discord link. So, but there's the link to the video if y'all want to check that out and maybe see if there's any, because they've been adding pattern buffers to things like the event store and obviously in the battle pass. Some people are sitting with bonus pattern buffers, and there could be some missions that you decide are valuable because there's missions that pay out uncommon. There's missions that pay out officer shards, like the original series mission, which let me see, is the original series showing up on my panel? Wrong button. That is not, it's not the Holodeck, Rev. Good job. I don't have the, yeah, here's the original series. Original series part 1. Wait, the original series called Now and Then pays out 10 TOS Kirk shards, 10 of them. So it does vary what you're looking for. So like there's an outlaw one, outlaw called Flatter to Deceive, gives out 125 G3 uncommon. So there are some of those that maybe you do want to go back just for the rewards and complete those. But anyway, check out that video if y'all want to see what those rewards are. Shout out to Black Half Dan for putting that spreadsheet together. And that was very, very helpful of him. So, are there any pattern buffer missions that pay out unique rewards you can't get anywhere else? Unique rewards you can't get anywhere else. I'm really trying to think because all those missions have got different rewards. I can't think of anything that's unique that literally doesn't exist anywhere, but you're trying to make me remember that spreadsheet from months ago. So encourage you, check the video, check the spreadsheet, and then let me know what you find, and maybe I'm missing something. By the way, there's 450 people here. If y'all be so kind, you want to help the channel out without having to donate, because hey, who wants to give money to content creators? We want to give it all to Scopely. Hit the like button. That actually helps out. Smash this. Appreciate you. All right, let's see what we got here. Early game should we keep opening officer packs to open during events only? Dude, Quad, my starting game strategy, I open up officer stuff as soon as it's humanly possible. I don't wait for events or anything. As a new player or a low-level player, don't spend time debating when to open officers. Open your officers. Do it now. Don't second guess yourself. Open those officers up. Open them up. Open them up. So let's see. What other questions y'all have? Come on, bring in your questions for the game. Bring in your questions for upcoming content. If there's anything I need to pass to the janitors, I can. I will say, here's a request for y'all. Here's a request for y'all. If y'all would be so kind, I'm actually going to give y'all a place to do it. We're starting off the year, and I had to talk to DJ about this today because sometimes DJ can get a little negative, and I do think that he has reason to be negative about some of the things that we've had the past year. But let's start the year off with some positivity. And what I want y'all to do is I'm going to get this link. This is specifically for this channel. Specifically for this channel. Valder says always keep officer stuff on reserve for events. Don't do that. Do not listen to Volter because there are no events. Do not do that. That is a bad strategy. Spend your officers. If you're going to keep us in reserve, you keep a small ultra reserve. Do not save officers. This game has made it very clear. I'm not giving you big leaderboards or anything. Do not sit on officers. You need those officers. You need those officers. Okay. What I want y'all to do is, here's a link to the STFC Discord. I want y'all to go to the general feedback channel and y'all ping the community managers and say something nice. Because when we talk about going to the janitors, 7 times out of 10, I'm probably going to the community managers. I'm either going to Beck or Eco. Now, there are times I go to game design. There are times I go to ops. But hey, y'all start the year off, go into the general feedback and just say something nice to the CMs. They need some love. They need some love. They need some love. Please don't PM them. Do it in the chat. Do it in the Discord. How small a reserve? Enough to finish an event. Like the most that I'll ever hold of an ultra is 16 to 20,000. And the average player that does all their events and is in a decent like top 10 alliance, depending on your level, is going to get about 20,000 ultras a month. Just about, believe it or not, about 20,000 ultras a month. So yeah, don't bank them. Don't sit there with 200,000. That's not going to do you any good. They're not running leaderboard events. We've asked for those for 8 months. When it happens, it happens. So my reserve right now, look at this reserve. I'll take the snow off. I think I've got like 8,000. I've got 9,000 right now. Just enough to finish an SMS when they ever actually decide to run it. That's the reserve. Where is it at? I gotta turn the snow off. There you go. There you go. There you go. A general recruit SLB this past arc? They canceled Incursion. I know they said delay, but they just moved it to normal Incursion time. So no, Incursions are getting moved. So they're still going to run Incursions this month, to my knowledge, just probably towards the end of the month, after the arc wraps up. Idea for updating daily recruit leaderboard, change payout types. Dailies have not gotten, and daily events, those things have not gotten updated 3 years, 2 years, a long time. Long time. Long time. Long time. Orange says I use my recruit tokens during the random daily recruit, which means I'm spending them like once a week for just a little extra. Yeah, you still have that. I mean, my big problem with the dailies, and I made a video about the dailies probably 2 years ago about utilizing them, but they just aren't getting updated. And it's just the payouts are so low. But TOS01 unlocks a warp path that's unique. Didn't even think about that one, Thomas. Which warp path is that? What level should we have all the officers unlocked? That's not even doable, because some of the like Tau can't even be unlocked. Which server wants a level 3? Well, I'll tell you that my alliance probably won't accept you, but who knows? Who knows? You save your tokens on the highest choice, for example, 3K Federation recruits. Yeah, I mean, that's the most efficient for sure. That's the most efficient. Any chance Sculptor will go to a previous arc instead of always dropping new ones? Nope. Simple answer. New makes money. Old does not. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't revisit old topics. Like, for example, they can revisit and do a new set of the next generation or a new set of the board. But are they ever just going to like take, say, May 2022 and then just run it again? No, they're not going. So. Bonus Refinery, you should have an announcement today with specific dates on Bonus Refinery. You would totally like to see a new duality arc. And yeah, look, you'll probably get things that have a theme, like anthology or something like that, but they're never going to copy and paste like the old stories and the old officers into the new. What's the best level 26 ship to scrap for ore? If you're needing ore, the Legionary is the best one. If you're talking about going 3-star to 4-star. Have enough officers to do the daily event SMSs? That makes sense. That makes sense. It'd be nice if swap ship can swap ships in other docks. Did you already ask about this? Nope, have not. What's the most 3-star uncommon you've gotten from a 3 chest pull? I can tell you what the most that you can get. But keep in mind, your loot table will depend on level. So let's see, that's 2-star. Let's find my 3-star box. So the most that you could potentially get would be 416. If you did a 4-chest pull, you could get 416 max 3-star uncommon crystal, going by this loot table. Now, you wouldn't have the same loot table if you're like level 32, but that would be the max that you could get. So each chest is 2 pulls. So now I've gotten some really high pulls before, but I don't think I've ever gotten a max pull of max RNG. I mean, that just is ridiculously low percentages. Honestly, I'm curious now. So the most I could get from a 2 pull, I'm gonna do a 2 pull because obviously I don't want to spend a lot with the bonus refinery coming up. The most I could get from a 2 pull is what, 104? And I get none. Thanks, Copley. So now I just gotta see, can I get it anywhere? See, I got a 28 there. And 28 means I got one of my 2 pulls was this one. So yeah. Well, I'm sorry. That would have been 4. So one of my 4 was this. In research description, if it said base attack or base hull, does it refer to your basic stat or does it refer to your station? Does not help. No, that refers to base being actual defense and attack. So the whole prime stuff to come out, that is in addition to base. Just like your officer bonus is in addition to base. It does affect your ship, yes. 5-star uncommon ships ever appear in the away team store? Not currently, no. Which there's only... Wait, did they just add them? Because we did just get 4-star and stuff into the event store. Have they put the 5-stars in the away team store yet? Ming, you still around? I don't think they are. I think they're still stuck only in faction store. You still have to go through the faction store exclusively. But I was only curious because December they had changed a little bit of sourcing. But yeah, didn't think so. Why have they not made the starbase better accessible and possibly move the starbase into your territory? Well, what would be the point? The starbase is completely pointless except for a little bit of research. So right now we just need them to actually make the starbase useful. Starbase at the moment is terrible. No, Tiberius. Oh, you talking about the away team store? Yes. The G4s currently are all that's in, or that's where it stops in away teams. Now, obviously, eventually you're going to have 5-star then, or in there. It's just a question of when will they do that. I was hoping that here in December, because they updated the event store, they would update the away team store for 5-star, but it makes sense they haven't yet. We're going to get the Saint Santa hat? No idea. I've had that for several years. Is the Burrell worth it? Yes and no. The Burrell's a great ship. I love it. It's great in PvP. It's good for armadas. If you're going to invest into the Enterprise, though, you don't want the Burrell. Just because it takes up so much gas. We have 11 officers now with below deck abilities. Worth revisiting in an episode. Probably one day. But you're going to get even more officers with below deck abilities. So even more. More is coming. Yeah, thank you, Lost. I didn't think so, but it's just I try to be hopeful sometimes. By the way, K92, good to see you here. Good to see you. What level 34 would you get? The Enterprise still. If I really want to do PvP kind of like only, the Augur, if you have the Battleship Strike Team crew, is the best ship for 34. But that's being very PvP specific. If we're talking about just overall usage in every way, PvP, PvE, armadas, all the things, the Enterprise is still king because of its ability. But I love the Auger, and the Battleship Strike Team has made it ridiculously good in PvP. So, is there a below deck officer that increases impulse speed? There is not one right now. That would be a pretty cool thing to have. Can I get to Ops 53 with just a rare G4 warship? If so, what tier should I have it to get there? So yes, you can. In fact, what a lot of higher level players did when G5 first came out is start skipping the epics to get the uncommons at 53. And typically you would have a pylon anywhere from tier 7, tier 10, in that range, or Coronar or Newton. But you 100% can take a 46 rare all the way to 53. Now, will that put you at a disadvantage in some ways? Sure. I mean, it certainly can, but it saves you a lot of faction credits, because remember, the epic 4-star ships need 1 million faction credits to unlock if you're just spending it through the event, the faction store. So you save a lot to just not spend those credits there and push them into 5-star. And a tier 7 pylon will carry you well into the mid 50s by itself. You can 1000% do that. You would maybe probably get slapped around a little bit for those people who did invest into like an Enterprise A or did invest into the Hector, etc. But if you're just trying to go from an efficiency standpoint, you can't go wrong with the 46 rares, and they're good at everything. Stegan says, I skipped the Tribune. I'm using the away team store to earn it that way. Smart. I mean, it's the biggest issue of the 4-star ships, all of them, is the cost in faction credits. This is something they actually improved with 5-star. And I know it's tough for a lot of people to get excited about 5-star improvements because y'all feel like you're so far away from it. But that's actually one of the things that they did to improve that a lot. You know, faction credit cost for, you know, the Pylon is 500,000-ish. And then 1 million is for like the Tribune. That's just a lot. I mean, even with the things that they've added to the game, it takes a long time to unlock that. Whereas by comparison, you take a look at the Corvus. The Corvus out of the dock is better than almost a max Tribune and costs half as many faction credits. So lots of value in terms of how they changed the sourcing mechanic and made it a lot better in that area. Now, you still need to spend ridiculous amounts to repair the ships and everything like that. But in terms of usability and viability, 5-star has a lot of improvements that 4-star doesn't. And when you finally start getting there as a free-to-play or a light spender, there are some things that are definitely painful, like event structures up there are still not great. But when it comes to sourcing ships, the sourcing of a ship is a little bit better, not counting the fact that away team doesn't have it. Now, Rob says most people skip the G4 epics as a waste of mats and credits. I would argue that now, with solo armada mechanics becoming such a big priority in the game, the epics probably shouldn't be skipped anymore, but you definitely want to supplement getting an epic with away teams, and you don't necessarily want to take an epic to, say, tier 10. You kind of like want to treat the epics how you treat the uncommon, maybe tier 5. But there's a legitimate argument for having the G4 epics now because of solo armadas as they're scaling up, and the game's going to continue investing more and more into this mechanic. So that's something to consider, but it's still something that you have to weigh. Can I do it reasonably? Because again, that's a lot of faction credits. I think I can earn, for me right now, about 60-ish thousand faction credits a month. If I'm doing my scouts, I'm doing all my turn-ins, and that's still taking me well over a year just faction credits alone to earn a tribute. So yeah, I'm hoping they return to the original series this year. Fun fact, I found my direct relatives were in a shoot at the OK Corral during episode TOS. That's pretty cool, Ryan. A fun little Trek trivia. Please ask Scopa to have some sort of blueprint exchange. That probably will never happen. Probably never happen. Craving mission in the Bajoran store, a replay. Craving. What's that mission do? Gosh, we've got 2,700 missions in the game right now. Let me look it up real quick. The Craving, because that's a 5-parter. Bajor, Quarks Me. I think that is a replay. Yeah, I think that's the original chain. And it also doesn't pay out anything. It doesn't pay out anything. I mean, the payout is, the top payout is 1.2 million titanium and 500 latinum for part 5. Yeah, it's, would not, don't go out and do this for rewards. Not worth it. Rewards are pretty low. It's like it's a level 25 mission though. Why does every new ship I get on level 25 run like they got crayons shoved in the warp core and run really sluggish? I'm not a fan of seeing my Vidar running like a tugboat in the harbor. Really? Because the Vidar is actually extremely fast for a 20 ship, like impulse speed wise and everything. Are you talking about warp speeds? Talking about warp speeds? Porter says, can you stack exocomps? Yes, you can. So if you run like a combat exocomp and then a multi-purpose and they're both damaged exocomps, they'll stack. You can stack any exocomp as long as it's not the same exocomp. You can't run like two 200% explorers, one in combat, one in multi-purpose. But if they're different, like a 40 and a 50 or a 100 and a 300, they will stack. They will stack. Is a new Star Trek movie in the works? Last I heard, Star Trek 4 of the new series has gotten postponed. So I'm not aware of one right now. But we have a lot of Star Trek series going on now. We've got Discovery, Picard, Prodigy, Lower Deck, Strange New Worlds, all running right now. Now, Picard's final season starts next month. But yeah, you've got 5 Star Trek series going on right now. Why rec episode comps don't affect rep for missions? Just because they never designed that to do that. So, simple answer. Except that exocomps keep breaking. I have had that happen, Dave, and I don't have an ETA on a fix. How you doing, Big Huggy? Shout out to Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, especially the hugs. I need to go do Jorans while I'm sitting here. Then we got to go do Mantis. How profitable is Star Trek Fleet Command for Scopely? Pretty profitable. Yeah, the game's not shutting down anytime soon. I'd say you've still got several years before you got to worry about this game going anywhere. Several years. How you doing, Captain Q? Afternoon. After Picard, would you like to see another single character show, perhaps like Riker? Who, though? I don't personally think I would like to see a Riker-centric show. I would love to see... If I had to pick one character, like literally one, I'd pick Worf. I'd want a Worf show. I'd want to see about him going to the Klingon Empire as an ambassador. Janeway is boring. Janeway's character was boring in Voyager. Her character I really enjoy in Prodigy, but her character problems in Voyager were because writing of Voyager was bad, not because Kate Mulgrew is a bad actress. Writing in Voyager was just very blah. But I would love a Worf series. Love a Worf series. What tier would you recommend taking the D4? At this point, that looks like it'd likely be the first one I have BPs for. Oh man, that's the 34 I would skip the most these days because you've got the Defiant right there. Ugh. Tier 5? Tier 6? It's tough. That's just, if you're asking what I would do. My Valdor will probably stay at tier 5 and not go any higher. Just like my Katinga probably stays at tier 3 because it wants freaking ore. If it didn't want ore, it could get upgrades. But no, it just has to have ore. So tier 5 and tier 3, I'll probably stick to that and then start working on the pylon. Remind me what to hear you would do with the Enterprise and Augur. I mean, I still love the Enterprise and Augur. The Defiant, just being an interceptor and you unlocking it so early has become my focus as an interceptor. I mean, I still really like the D4. It's not that the D4 has gotten bad. It's just if I'm choosing what to invest in, my crystal, my gas, etc., I'm going to use the Defiant, and I'll probably pick up an Enterprise or an Augur. But I love my D4. Like, I don't have any problem with my D4. It's just, if you're talking about all the ships that you can use and invest into, and you've got the Franklin A that you got to invest into, you've got the Defiant that you got to invest into, you got the Feast you got to invest into, the Amalgam you got to invest into, the Cerritos you got to invest into, plus your epic ship. I mean, the Defiant just kind of seems like one of those that start pushing to the side a little bit. It is good in PvP, but it's going to get outperformed in armadas by the other two. It's going to get outperformed in hostile grinding by the other two. And it's not a bad ship. It's just kind of the same thing that happened to the Saladin. There's so many other things were happening that the Saladin no longer is like this must-have ship. I mean, it's still great, but plenty of people are able to not worry about having a Saladin and get a Centurion. They're just as fine. I think that's what's happened to the D4. The D4 has just become less of a desirable object because of everything going on around. Yeah. And then you got faction miners. The 3-star faction miners need crystal. You know what's more important than your D4 PvPing once a month? Having 2 tier 7, tier 8 faction miners. Way more important. And this is from a guy who hates mining. No, it's just more important to your gameplay. Will the new dock have a cheaper stripped down pack in the future? Not to my knowledge. And Sean, I don't regret having a D4, but like if on my new account, I'm not going to build a D4. I'm going to invest all that crystal into my miners and into my Defiant. And then my PvP ship is probably going to be an Augur, assuming the meta hasn't changed by the time I get to level 34. Bobby, Star Trek Enterprise will eventually come into the game. Every IP Star Trek has will eventually be in this game. Entire IP will eventually be in the game. You want to get to tier 5 Katinga and tier 5 Valdor before you go past Ops 42? I mean, you can do that, Zero. You're going to be there a while, though. That's the cost of the Katinga, if you wanted to do that, is... Man, it's going to hurt looking at it. To take it to tier 5, raw cost, not counting research, is 57,000 uncommon ore. Assuming you've done your research and it's at a decent level, you're going to need about 40,000, maybe 35,000 uncommon ore to take it to tier 5. That's a lot. That's a lot. So it's a really lot when you talk about how much your bases need, your buildings need and everything. Not a bad choice. Just know where you're at in the game, because I'm not a big fan of level progressing for the sake of level progressing. I think you should progress at a rate that is comfortable to you and that helps your gameplay and helps you enjoy it. And honestly, you'll probably enjoy the game more if you sit there at 42 and take 2 ships up to tier 5. You probably will be having a great time, but it's more about knowing what the costs are. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of what you're getting into. But I love the idea. You already have a tier 4 Valdor and just got it last month. Nice, Zero. Yeah, the Valdor is mostly gas, but it does take ore as its secondary. So seems like NX-01 could replace the Turris. I'm real curious what they'll end up doing with Enterprise, because obviously you can't bring in Star Trek Enterprise and it'd be stronger than the Enterprise D, right? So I'm real curious what they choose to do with that in the future. Really curious what they end up doing with that. As anyone said, there's too much to invest in this game. It's hard to pick and choose when there's so much good things that the free-to-play need to work on. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of an overload, but that's also one of the reasons why a lot of the new content they release is ops limited. You know, for example, you can't really do Bajorans every day until you're in the 40s. And by the time you're in the 40s, you're no longer doing Borg every day. You're probably not even doing swarms every day. You might be. A lot of people have stopped doing swarms every day. And again, that's up to individual people. I'm not telling you to not do them. So they've tried it, but yeah, there's a lot in the game at the moment. New loops need to erase old loops. That's the proper way to do a new loop. And they've done that sometimes, but other times they haven't. Like the Mantis is a complete new loop that did not get rid of any other grind time. And that is a problem. That is a problem. By the way, for those that don't know, we'll be live again tonight. I have 2 channels. I have this YouTube channel, and then I also have Twitch. If y'all want to come play with us on Twitch tonight, we'll be answering more questions and doing more hangouts. So feel free to come swing on by. John says, I do not do swarms anymore. Away teams give me the probes I needed. See, same. Like, I generally don't have to do Borg anymore because, and you meant Borg when you said swarms, because of that away team mission. Now, sometimes I don't get it and I do have to go out there, but I have enough to do my pull every day. So hopefully we see more away teams like they have the Source Borg mass to reduce some of those grinds. I agree, Tiberius. I think that's an easy way that they could alleviate some of the pain points in the game is through away teams. We're skipping the Valdor in favor of the Pylum. I'm a big fan, especially since Solar Armadas have come to the game, of picking up at least one uncommon. You don't necessarily need to take it that high. Remember that the Valdor doesn't take any of the materials that you're going to need from, I mean, a little bit, but you know what I mean, from the Pylum. So I think it's good to have both of them. Good to have both of them. I wish Twitch was more stable on video playback, so much buffer time. I'm not sure on why that is, Dread. Because that's just got to do with Twitch's servers and stuff, I guess. NX01 will totally be a special ship for grinding Zindi hostiles. Yikes, Dave. You're taking the fun and excitement out of it already for me. Taking the fun and excitement out already. All those Jelly Brawl mats got to go somewhere. Well, see, that's why my Valdor made it to tier 5 so quick, is because of Jelly Brawl. And there is a Jelly Brawl coming this month for those who have their ISS Jelly unlocked. There you go. While we need the swarms, the resource and the refinery are great, especially with the Prime research. Well, one, most people haven't bought the Prime. I'm not buying the Prime. Yes, it is a multiplier of 5, but I'm not spending $100 for it. And the truth is, I don't really need to, because the events have paid out so many resources. I'm sitting on almost, I think I've got 2 trillion in par steel right now. I've got something like 10 billion total in tritanium. The only one I'm semi-hurting for is dilithium, and it doesn't even pay out that much dilithium anymore at level 45. I'm not saying that swarms are bad, but as you level up, the value of swarms continues to diminish. Almost nobody level 50 plus does swarms. They just straight ignore it. It's a waste of time. Now, that Prime helps a little, but again, you had to spend $100 to get that. I didn't buy it. Now, if anybody would like to buy me that Prime, here you go. Donate link. I would appreciate it. It'd help me out, but I didn't buy it. Given how many Suliban are in the game, I hope the Enterprise arc does a lot with them. There you go. Really hoping for an Excelsior Reliant and original Enterprise A skins that they do the original series movies. I am really hoping they do the movies. I think that we got a hint at that. Can't confirm, but I think got a hint at that if you look at the roadmap, looking at Captain Spock and Admiral Kirk and the uniforms that they're wearing, clearly from the movies. I'm hoping hard. Hoping hard. Let me ban this bot real quick. Is Scopely going to bring in the shuttlecraft for away teams? Getting tired of my crew getting microwave and transporter malfunctioning every time? I don't even know what you're trying to ask. Like, I know you're trying to make a Star Trek joke, but I don't know the need. Any chance the ret packs will come back? I'm sure at some point, MD. Don't know when. Bit late? Welcome in, Ian. Glad you're here. Not sure we can be stoned enough to get through the motion picture arc. See, motion picture maybe, but the arc that I want to see, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the greatest Star Trek movie ever and one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever. That's what I want. Hey, Belinda, how you doing? Good to see you. Will they ever give out subspace relay keys again? They need to, so that people can unlock the buildings for new servers. I am working on following up with that. Here, actually, I'll do this. All right. I'm sticking up for the motion picture. It didn't really work, but I'm glad they made it. That's before my time. I came out like, what, 11 years before I was born, 10 years before I was born. I can't really comment on the motion picture. It is what it is. Got to bug CS to get the keys. Yeah. I've been really trying to bug the janitors about having a permanent sourcing for that. So Will they be offering the limited time targeted officer ultra packs again? Those officer packs swing around multiple times a year. So yeah, at some point, yeah. I'm usually not a fan of them. But is it just me, or does the Incursion feel like they are dead 2 months in a row, been skipped, and truly only half our server even cares? I mean, for the most part, Incursions is not a loved event. It needs a lot of work. Director's edition of the motion pictures worth seeing over the original. Again, y'all, we need to find a way to watch Star Trek together. If I can find a way to stream it on my Discord, legally and stuff, we'll watch some Star Trek together. I would love that, actually. So I'd enjoy it. I don't know if y'all would, but I would enjoy it. Ever heard of an issue where game won't load? It's stuck on my device at 61%. Yeah, that happens. I don't know specifically what's going on with your device or what's going on there, but all I can say is put in a ticket. Paramount Plus watch party. I don't know if you can do watch parties with Paramount Plus, though. I know you can with Amazon Prime, and let me check my Prime real quick. I know some of the Star Trek movies are on there. I think I'd have to rent them, but I guess I could spend $3. Let me see. Star Trek. Hold on. Let me pull up my Prime Video, because I do have Prime Video. Prime Video. Star Trek. Let's see. Are there any of them? Unavailable. I don't have HBO Max. On HBO Max. Into Darkness is on there. Is there any way for me to... Because it's all on Paramount Plus now. So I could create a watch party for like one of the new Star Trek movies. And we could watch it together if y'all wanted to. That's a legal way for me to do it. But anyway. Are Bajoran packs coming back at some point? Probably not. Those were specifically for the DS9 arc, but maybe. What level would you push for single faction lock? I'm currently 28 and sitting about 4 million Klinger rep. If I dual faction was too late, it's never too late. Start dual factioning. Never too late. So everything's on Paramount Plus. I think HBO Max has a license. I just don't know if I can do a watch party with those. I can try to take a look at that after stream and see if I can find out the answer on that. So, any of the Enterprise skins come back for sale? Unknown. I honestly don't know. I would assume probably, but you have the. It's terrible sourcing, but in the Amalgam Refinery, you do have the Enterprise refit there. You would need 4 of the max pool, so like 2 years worth of grinding for it. Pegasus, I have dropped, I think, 4 hints in this stream. 3 of them were at the very beginning. The Damaged Enterprise D skin. Okay, so that one came out when the Next Generation came out, and I haven't seen it since. Where's my other Enterprise? But this Enterprise wears it. There it is. Nice graphic glitch there. And there's my main. Fix that in space? No. All those still look awful in space. Is there a new season Discovery coming to Paramount? Yeah. Let me see. Star Trek release dates 2023. Because Prodigy's November. Let's see. Star Trek movie will be arriving in theaters June 9th. Really? June 9th, 2023. Anyway. I'm looking up the release dates for Star Trek stuff. So, Prodigy is October 27th. Wait. Just give me dates. I don't want all the writing. Why are you telling me about what the show's about? I'm not worried about what the show's about. Tell me when it releases. Oh my gosh, it's annoying. Strange New Worlds has not been announced. Picard is February 16th. Discovery is sometime this year, but it doesn't have an announced date. And Prodigy, I believe, is in November. So most of them don't have an announced date, but they're all supposed to come out this year. Ryan, I've already dropped multiple hints about the new arc, and I will continue to over the course of the next week. We'll talk about some of that tonight on the Twitch channel. If y'all are not already on the Twitch channel, well, come join us tonight on the Twitch channel. There's the link in the chat. It's gonna be me. Prodigy will eventually get added to the game. Yes. Every IP Star Trek has will eventually be in this game. Every IP it has will eventually be in the game. Jay, again, that's been suggested for years. We'll let you know when it actually happens. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap up today's stream. Appreciate y'all. If y'all want to help out the channel, feel free to hit the donate link. Everything helps out. Smash the like button on your way out. And if you want to help buy some food for the family, help pay the mortgage, $5, $10, $20, it all is appreciated. I will go bug the janitors more. I will work with y'all more. And then we will come back live tonight on Twitch. So go over there if you haven't already. I appreciate every single one of you. You're amazing. Thanks for supporting me and my family. Thanks for enjoying the channel. Thanks for making today an awesome episode. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And I'm real curious how many people pick the hints. After the video post, y'all should see if y'all can guess the hints. I'm curious.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.